If I Cowboy. Which is your Ed Cowboy. Everyone, welcome. And Ed Cowboy, good morning.
Good morning.
Today's topic, okay. Today's topic is dealing with mothers. Obviously, it is Mother's Day, and we're lucky we have a temple. We're in temple on Sunday. We have Mother's Day today. So we'll be talking all about the spiritual power of motherhood and covering so many things. It's going to be very interesting because this Ifa sermon is called One's Mother is a child's architect of success. So we'll be talking about how mothers make us successful and how we can also support mothers. It all goes together. So welcome. Let us start off with our morning prayers.
When cow tune, this is my right shoulder. When cow seat, this is my left shoulder. Oriobo, Oroato, head of longevity and health. Abolua boya bosheshe. Ijiobe. Ololo omi, cool peace for water, per tranquil water. The road that the vulture takes to get from heaven to earth, and the path that the vulture takes to get from earth to heaven. It's very demanding. This is the podcast to Illumina. We're going to take a lonely to the owner of cool, peaceful water to his wife. Ifa says this is abomination. It's also a taboo in Ifa. Ifa, the Wiki Aloe would never allow a lonely tutu to have a cheap death. A lonely tutu and death have entered into the covenant. Omi tutu. And his water refreshes. Ile tutu refreshes our homes or wherever our leaves or even reside. Ate tutu may be precious to our spirits and hold our spirits and protect us. Tutu laroye may actually be cool and not angry. Ibashi ya cámara, ibashi oloro mare, ibashi ori, ibashi yami, ibashi babami, ibashi lumule, de orisha, ibashi Echo Dada, Ibache to Oguna Lagwete, Ibache to Tokyo de Mata, Ibache to Lake, the hero who lives in fresh water, Ibache to Obalua Ye, the owner of infectious diseases, Ibache to Osai, he who runs faster on one leg than most do on two legs, Ibache to Agayutola, Ibache to Orisha Oko, the elder Lani Virago, Ibache to the Ile, she who combs her hair with a hoe, Ibache to Chango, Karuchile Chango, Ibache to Obatala, Ayaguna, Obala, the Orisha Man or the Dua, Ibache to the Ibedis, the miracle workers who bring prosperity, Ibache to Yewa, Ibache to Oba, Ibache to Ote, the hill, Ibache to Ajay, the owner of money, Ibache to Osun, standard by the firm, Ibache to Orumila Edu, Afedefeo, Apolinego, he who witnessed creation destiny, and second is Commander Lord Amade. Ibache to Oshun Yemu, she who gives the good ear and shows us all the beauty and sweetness there in this world. Ibache to Oya, Yansa, mother and I teach the change and transition on the wings. Ibache to Egungun, Ibache to Oro, the ancestors. Ibache to Egbe, Musu, Ibache to the Iyami, mothers of the night. Ibache to Yimayaka Chuaputi Awoyo, the mother of the nurturer, the warrior, she who owns all the fishes. Ibache to Oloku, the owner of all prosperity and fortune and the holder of civility. Ibache to our Luos, those who officiate our ceremonies. Ibache to our Ayubona, those who supported and assisted us during our ceremonies. Ibache to our Olorishas, those who brought Orisha into our homes and began to teach us about Orisha. Ibache to our Yanifas, Babalaos, who teach us about traditionally Ifa, help us reach our full potential and our destiny. Ibache to Luaye, Ibache to Arabaye, Ibache to Ashedaye, Ibache to Akodaye, Ibache to all of our ancestors. Ibache to our mothers and our fathers and our lineages. Ibache. Ijeobe. Alawibo. He who hears people please. And accepts the please. He who hears people please. And approves of the please. He who talks to people and serves as talks to please the Lord. He who hears He will hear people's pleas and accept their pleas. In the name of his Father. He will hear people's pleas and approve of the pleas. In the name of Eshwadada. He will talk to the people and ensure that the talk is completely absorbed. In the name of Orishala. Orishala. You are the one who molds human beings. The one who molds one cannot fail to impress one. The Sprite Frog is one of summer's rainfall. The bullfrog is one of summer's downpour. It is whatever Akhenaten poetry root tells the earth that is accepted. Whatever the big rat tells the earth is what the earth accepts. All what I tell you, Father. Please accept them and approve them. Ashe. Abundo warring. The ocean is filled to the brim. The lagoon is filled to capacity. Alasan is going to Asan. Alasan is going to Asan. The Awo on top of the rock. The elders thought over the matter and realized it's no longer favorable. They used their mustaches to cover their faces. They spread their beards firmly over their chests. This is the Father's declaration to Sheshe, the offspring of to every head of the Roko Tigleife. What is one Sheshe? Olodumare is one Sheshe. It is the Sheshe who has the peace before pleasing Orisha. Onzori is one Sheshe. It is the Sheshe who has the peace before pleasing any Orisha. One's mother, one's father is one Sheshe. It is the Sheshe who has the peace before pleasing an Orisha. Please let us appease the Sheshe. It is the Sheshe who has the peace before pleasing an Orisha. The male and female genital organs want to Sheshe. It is the Sheshe who has the peace before pleasing an Orisha. The Sheshe of her mother's in it. The Sheshe of her father's in it. And they all hear and give approval to this above. It is the Sheshe who has the peace before pleasing an Orisha.
Show gratitude upon gratitude. If you are all about gratitude. Display benevolence upon benevolence. If you are all about benevolence. Whoever is not so gratitude. Yesterday's gratuity. Such a person will not receive today's gratuity. This will be God's declaration to the 401 in Rumelech. When going to marry Okway. The daughter of Orisha Buwuji. The same was declared to Orumila. When going to marry Okway. The daughter of Orisha Buwuji. I am grateful. I am grateful for yesterday's favor. I shall receive today's gratuity. Oturi Rete. I am very grateful. Awa dupwe, awa bore, awa dupwe oh, awa bore, adupwe anao ao bore tonebo.
Olodumare, awa dupwe, awa bore, awa dupwe oh, awa bore, adupwe anao ao bore tonebo. Orieni, awa dupwe, awa bore, awa dupwe oh, awa bore, adupwe.
to demonstrate our gratitude. We have come to receive our blessings. We have come to demonstrate our gratitude. We have come to receive our blessings from all of the mothers, from our Ori, from the Illuminate, and from the ancestors, the deified ancestors, Ifa, the Illuminate, Risa, ancestors, Edwin, Edgar, all of the years that help us in this life. We come before the day to just give gratitude. Gratitude for waking up this morning. Gratitude for being on our path and on our journey. Gratitude for the people in our lives. Gratitude for our mother figures. We are so grateful for who we are, our teachers, and everything that we have today. Erosion and tutu. Pounded yam without soup can be difficult to consume.
Pounded yam without soup can be difficult to consume.
This was Ifa's catchphrase, tutu.
This is Ifa's catchphrase, tutu.
The child of Agunire Gun.
The child of Agunire Gun.
He who was filled with bad character.
He who was filled with bad character.
He who had a bad attitude.
He who had a bad attitude.
He whose bad attitude that prevented him from coming into Ifa's domain.
He whose bad attitude that prevented him from coming into Ifa's domain.
Now, we come to listen on behalf of the tutu.
We have come to listen on behalf of the tutu.
We have come to beg on behalf of the tutu.
We have come to beg on behalf of the tutu.
Father, please be patient, overlook this provocation.
Father, please be patient, overlook this provocation.
We are begging on behalf of the tutu.
We are begging on behalf of the tutu.
Orumila responded.
Orumila responded.
That those of you who come to listen on behalf of the tutu.
That those of you who come to listen on behalf of the tutu.
That those of you who come to beg on behalf of the tutu.
That those of you who come to beg on behalf of the tutu.
How many children did Ifa have that he would pass one out?
How many children does Ifa have that he would pass one out?
Those begging on behalf of the tutu.
Those begging on behalf of the tutu.
Ifa was united or lead. We come before you today again to ask that you forgive us for anything we may have done, said, knowingly or unknowingly, anything we may have done to offend anyone. Please have us be forgiven. We ask for forgiveness in ways we haven't measured up and aligned with our destiny that we set before us. Please forgive us for all the things that we've done knowingly and unknowingly. Okumedi.
Okumedi.
Epa. The king that molds human beings.
The king that molds human beings.
The king that molds human destiny.
The king that molds human destiny.
The king that supports and assists human beings.
The king that supports and assists human beings.
The king that molds human character.
The king that molds human character.
The king that molds human beings is the name given to Orishanla.
The king that molds human character is the name given to Orishanla.
The king that molds human destiny is the name given to Orumila.
The king that molds human destiny is the name given to Orumila.
The king that supports and assists human beings is the name given to one Ori.
The king that supports and assists human beings is the name given to one Ori.
The king that molds human character is the name given to Olumare.
The king that molds human character is the name given to Olumare.
Orangu Meji.
Orangu Meji.
I call upon you by your formula which is known as Efa-Odu.
I call upon you by your formula which is known as Efa-Odu.
You are the one that helps in organizing one's life.
You are the one that helps in organizing one's life.
For one's life to be fruitful.
For one's life to be fruitful.
You are the one that helps in organizing one's life.
You are the one that helps in organizing one's life.
For one's life to be rewarded.
For one's life to be rewarded.
Come and help me to organize my life.
Come and help me to organize my life.
For to be blessed with wealth.
For to be blessed with wealth.
For to be blessed with children.
For to be blessed with children.
For to be blessed with all the good things of life.
For to be blessed with all the good things of life.
It is impossible to see the depth of the sea.
It is impossible to see the depth of the sea.
Do not let human beings see evil in me.
Do not let human beings think of evil in me.
It is impossible to see the depth of a river.
It is impossible to see the depth of the river.
All what I'm doing.
All what I'm
Do
doing.
not let human beings dig up evil in me.
Do not let human beings think of evil in me.
Orangu Meji.
Orangu Meji.
I call upon you by your formula which is known as Efa-Odu.
I call upon you by your formula which is known as Efa-Odu.
Please let my matter be fruitful and rewarding and my life forever and ever.
Please let my matter be fruitful and rewarding in my life forever and ever.
Timo duro, Timo sure, Timo bere, Timo sure, Timo pule, Timo sure, Timo joko, Timo sure, ire Timo suori tigo, Timo duro, Timo sure, Timo bere, Timo sure, Timo pule, Timo sure, Timo joko, Timo sure, ire Timo suori tigo. Ifa, if we stand up and pray, if we bend down and pray, if we kneel down and pray, if we sit down and pray, our Oris will hear all our prayers. Please, here and at home, hold on to your Oris. Orieni laureni o, Orieni laureni, Mojiluro, Mofio o Mori, Orieni, Laureni. Orieni, Laureni, oh. Orieni, Laureni. Mojiluro, Orieni, Laureni. One's Odie's, one's good luck charm to all success. One's Odie's, one's good luck charm to all success. When we wake up in the morning, we hold on to our heads. One's Odie's, one's good luck charm to all success. Odie, please continue to support us in everything that we do. Help us make those decisions that help each day get to us. Help us also absorb the message that Ifa will be teaching us today and sharing with us today. Odie, Ashe, Aburo Boye, Osheshe.
Okay, Cabo, everyone, welcome. It's beautiful to see everybody. Hello, happy Sunday, happy Mother's Day. And yes, let us take a few minutes break to meet and greet, and then we'll start with our sermon, which deals with the importance of mothers, how mothers have built us all up to where we are now.
It's good to be here.
It's good to be here. It's good to be here.
That's right.
Good to be here. Yeah.
Right here, right now.
Welcome.
Share the story.
Yeah, man, really.
Of course it is, yeah, that's right.
Yeah, that's fun.
Doing good. I thought she was here right there. Well, she also goes to her sister and her cell house. I may go out there. All right. Hi, Baba. How are you? Happy Mother's Day. Mother's Day. In some form.
How are you?
Okay. Happy Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Call your mom today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Big guy?
Yeah.
Happy pre-Mother's Day.
You can give it a little bit.
Where have you been?
Welcome to see. Okay.
What is that? Hi. It's kind of hot in here, but
It is. Okay, we turn there.
looks like a sauce board.
No problem.
I brought some food. This is
Puerto Rican
this is my daughter. Introduce yourself. Hi, I'm Chloe.
That's Studio Harmony, and that's Manolo. That's Manolo, and Sanaa is just coming out of the bathroom. She's back
Oh,
there.
they're twins. This is
Yeah, they look like I'm like,
How are you?
I'm good.
Yes? Chilling like good?
Yes, literally.
Okay.
I brought food, you guys. Make sure we're
Did you open it? My food is okay. All right.
And I brought flowers.
Thank you.
Making sure your money right from the focus of the crowd.
Now you live?
This today's is this today's lunch?
Checking
Mhm.
Okay. Got that one done.
Yep. What you do? Just as I'm over here working on these, yeah. I don't think we have anything. No, I'm not.
She's like, this is why I came. You gotta come and see your mom speak live a little bit more, you know? The one time you come,
Yeah, the one time I come.
they're like, mom. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's worth a lot of money.
Wait, yeah, right? Every other
Yes, sir.
Sunday?
Very old.
Yes, see you. We do our best.
Did you find it at the beach or somewhere?
No.
We find it right outside, tell them.
Well, outside.
Outside? Like literally outside?
Does it make noise?
They live like outside in your area. They're like, look, they're looking at a different box.
Okay, I love it.
You ready?
Okay, yes, I'm ready.
Why do you buy the food?
You ready?
That's the question I'm finding
I was
out.
on earth today, but I couldn't find any. And there's a pineapple leg on it, so I was like, I need it.
That's the popular Mother Earth. But anyway, Do what you can do. What you can do, Mom.
You can take the day off.
No. That's right, yeah, you're okay. I'll do it.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you want to chat still, you want to say, make sure you always let her know, or because they want to get them.
So you're gonna talk, Mama, are you talking to them? Do you wanna say something like
How about for food?
You can talk about her mom. You can talk about your mom.
Yeah, you should talk about her mom.
Hey, wait,
But there's always something good. There's always something good. But you can also be in the gap too. Like talk about like what's your love language? You know what I mean? Like how did your mom know that love language? So you're nervous walking away.
Harley gonna say something about mothers and then he's
Carly's
gonna say
first, then him.
something.
Okay.
Just say something funny.
Carly, you say something. Think about it right now. Start thinking.
I'm not even involved in this either.
She a Libra, she can say anything.
Say something.
She got a mom.
You're grateful? Yeah.
She just playing.
Good morning. Hi, everybody.
Good morning.
It's wonderful to see all your beautiful faces.
Yes.
I'm just here to give a couple announcements. Today's topic is going to be mothers. I'm so grateful for mothers and the energy of women in this world, in this planet. There's only one Arumale that is a woman, and that is Oshun. She is equivalent to all of the other male Arumale. So if that says anything, that says a lot. Today, I just want to give a couple announcements. So of course, our pilgrimage is coming up in a few weeks. We want to wish safe travels and blessings to all of the people making the pilgrimage. It will be, a lot of it will be on Facebook. I also wanted to go over again the kind of like the chain of like contacts. So you want to reach out to Iya Ifayomi, me, Babiaka Chagnu. And you can also go to ifatemple@losangeles.org and scroll all the way down and send us a message that does send an email to the temple leadership. And we will get back to you if you have any problems or any issues or any questions, or if you want to get involved or anything like that, reach out to one of us or send us an email. And happy Mother's Day to all of the mothers, all the mother figures, all the women in general, because your energy in this world is much needed. I'm going to call up Carly to give a couple little something.
Hey guys, round of applause. Hey, my name's Carly.
Hi, Carly.
I'm this one's daughter. So I grew up in a single mother household, but I grew up mostly it was just my mom. I did have some male influence though with my grandpa and my brother, but it was mostly a single mother household. And I'm just grateful for my mom in general because I feel like without my mom, I wouldn't have any common sense. I'm grateful that she taught me ways of life, even though my mom can get really like passive aggressive and we can argue and I won't like her tone, but I didn't realize until I was like, I guess hitting like 15, 16, till I was like going through it and I was like looking at stuff and instead of looking at TikTok, I started looking at like actual articles and like talking to my mom and I was like, maybe like, even though my mom was doing all that hooting and hollering about like, about certain stuff, like maybe she was right, like, and and so I'm just grateful that my mom did everything that she could to provide me. I have a brother, if y'all don't know. Me and my brother the best life possible. Never was like a sweat about it either. Never threw it in our faces like, oh, I gave you this and I gave you that. Never did that. Just wanted to make sure that we got a better life than she did. And I'm grateful for mothers in that sense too, because I noticed that, like, I'm technically a second generation. And so I noticed that a lot of second generational kids, they won't really like know the ropes because some of their moms won't know how to transition them out of how they grew up.
Sure.
But I'm really grateful for my mom because she, before having me, and I believe before having my brother, she studied how to be a mom and how to be a parent. And I'm really grateful for that. She used just everything that she learned from her master's degrees, her 5'11" master's degrees that she won't really forget about. She used a village. I was also raised by this woman in St. Louis. Her name's Cuckoo. I'm glad for that woman influence too. Gave me very much, you know, like the Southern way of growing up, oatmeal, sit down at the table, say a prayer, you know? So I'm really grateful for all the women influence in my life. I'm grateful for my mom playing both roles, even though it was hard. I'm grateful for my mom doing everything that she could, to be honest. And my mom is my best friend. We used to kind of beef, but not anymore, because as you grow up, you realize that your mom is just like a girl too. Like, she was in your shoes too. And when you realize that, you're like, you know what? You kind of make sense. Like, sometimes you just kind of realize your mom makes sense. And so, what else am I grateful for? No, I was put on the spot.
She's a Libra. She can go on and on. Thank you, love.
Oh, can I go on about? Can I go on another one, please?
One more? Okay.
Okay. I'm also really grateful for my mom that she protected me and made sure I wasn't in any unsafe environments. Being a second generation, being from Compton, she knew what environments are not safe for me and what environments I shouldn't be around. I would always used to want to go to these random house parties when I first got here, and my mom would be like, girl, that's LA, don't go to those house parties. And I'm glad I never went, because they're always lame, always bad stuff going on. And so I'm glad that she always protected me. And can I flex my mom real fast? Yeah. She's the smartest out of her whole generation. Her sisters and, well, she only has one sister, but our cousins and like our
Carly, wrap it up.
Okay, thank you. I love. Thank you. Say goodbye.
Bye. Thank you.
Baba Amos.
No.
Jackie.
Okay.
Thank you,
Boroboye.
love.
My name is Jakim Omo Linda. My mother's name is Linda. And she is the architect of my success. Throughout my childhood, she's always imprinted her wisdom and benevolence upon my head. When I was young, she would, braid my hair when I was a child. I went through phases of having hair, short hair. When I was in middle school, she'd braid my hair again. Cut my hair in high school. When I was in college, she'd redo my locks. So I would always have those moments where I just have to sit down and listen to her while she just, told me everything that I had to learn and correct me. So she was always in my head. Whenever I would have a disagreement with someone, she would always make me consider and understand where they're coming from. She's always been a very fair mother. So anytime I would have an issue with someone and I would bring it up to her, the first question that she would always ask is, well, what did you do? And I'm like, okay, so I did this. And she would always help me just see the situation from multiple perspectives. She always taught me to respect my elders and treat the young ones with kindness and grace as well. So I just really, do my best to lead by her example to do that. Outside of my older sister and I, she's always been everyone's favorite auntie because she loves everyone's children, her friends' children. She loves everyone's children, the children in the neighborhood. She even has love for the children that my father had outside of their marriage. Number one, because she just loves children regardless, and number two, because she knew how difficult their childhoods were going to be. To this day, she's still a very active mother, aunt, grandmother, and currently works as a nanny. She's told me many times that once a mother, always a mother. So she said that one can always reach out and rebuild with their mother so long as they're, here on this plane. So whatever kind of issues, someone may be having with their mother or mother figure, you can always reach out and rebuild that relationship. Before coming to IFA, I wasn't that consistent with communicating with my mother. When I told her that I was starting to attend IFA Temple, she was very skeptical at first. This is because when I was younger, my father brought an Orisha home and she was very freaked out by it. I always loved the Orisha at home. So my father and I, we were, on the side, like, oh yeah, this is cool. We want to learn this. My mother and sister, they were like freaked out by it. However, through IFA, I have renewed my relationship with her, and because she sees my growth in it, she encourages me to continue to learn and experience all that IFA has to offer. Ashe.
Just announce Baba.
And now we're going to have Baba Amos speak.
Baba. Edibuya.
Ayabo, ayato.
Edibuya.
Ayabo, ayato.
Edibuya.
Ayabo, ayato. Ayaje, ayamu.
And Cabo, everyone, welcome. And Caro, good morning. Beautiful to see everybody here. Yeah, we're really blessed, you all, because we have a place to come to, and we have a community based on some very clear teachings on motherhood. When you want to know what anyone wants to say about any topic, any thought, you need to begin to research it, and you need to ask those people who study. Because what you'll begin to see is that IFA has really, 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 really given us a lot to think about with motherhood. And I hope I can do justice to some of those teachings today. I hope I can pass some of that to you guys. I'll try. There's a lot to say about mothers. So it's very interesting. I want to pay homage, of course, to my mother and all mothers. Without them, we would not be here, right? Without them, we would not be able to continue this thing we call life. So a mother really is a child's architect of success. So when you have an architect, he or she lays out the plans. The architect may not build the building, but the architect will certainly make sure the plans are in place. And that's what mothers also do. Mothers don't have to do everything, but sometimes they literally do have to do everything. But at least they have to ideally make sure things are in place so others can do it. For example, your mother sends you to school, but she's not going to teach you at school. But ideally, when you get home, she'll check and see what you learned, right? So it's like kind of that overall supervision. I know all mothers are not perfect. Let me just say that. I know everybody stuff's racing through our minds like, well, yeah, what about this? What about her? What happened then? We'll talk about when moms are not perfect, because nobody's perfect. But there's a divinely inspired part of motherhood. It's straight from Olodumare, and I'm going to show you why today. Why when anyone does anything related to mothers, you are interacting directly with Olodumare. And I hope that gives us a nice understanding. So the first thing Ifa says about mothers is that this is just the simplest off the bat thing. Do you all know your mother is your personal Orisha? People say, I want to get an Orisha. I need to get an Orisha pot. I need some beads. I want to know the name of who's my quote-unquote guardian angel. Sometimes people refer, who's the spirit who guides me? You already have it. It's called your mom. There is nobody on earth who does not have a mother. Okay, even those who don't know their mothers, do they have mothers?
Yes.
Yes, even those whose mothers have passed on to the other side, yes. You see, one's mother is one's personal Orisha. And this is from the Odu called Osa Irete. And what it says in there, it says that one's mother is one's Isheshe. Okay? And so it speaks of how we need to deal with our mother before we deal with any other Orisha. Please repeat after me. Osirete.
Osirete.
The flood has no hole.
The flood has no hole.
It digs the ground.
It digs the ground
in search of red soil.
in search of red soil.
This is Casti Fafre Sheshe.
This is Casti Fafre Sheshe.
What is one's a Sheshe?
What is one's a Sheshe?
One's mother is one's a Sheshe.
One's mother is one's a
One's
Sheshe.
father is one's a Sheshe.
One's father is one's a Sheshe.
Olodumare is one's a Sheshe.
Olodumare is one's a Sheshe.
Zori is one's a Sheshe.
One's Ori is one's a
It is
Sheshe.
a Sheshe they appease in Ife town
It is a Sheshe they appease in Ishe town
to obtain all Iran life.
to obtain all Iranian life.
So what it's saying there, it says the flood has no hood. It uses its mouth to dig the earth to reach the red soil. What Ifa's speaking of here is that, Isheshe, you guys, that means our source, the source of our origin. And it's telling us right there, your own mother is literally, you don't need to even come to Ifa temple to know that your mother created you. And so Ifa is a big believer that based on that contribution alone, the level of respect is very high. It's your personal Orisha. Ifa also says in Ogunda Warren, which we quote every Sunday right here, it says that one's mother's one's a Sheshe. It is a Sheshe that we should do what? We ought to appease before appeasing any Orisha. So we know that if you're not on good terms with your mother, don't bother to go feed Eshu. It just won't do any good. If you don't talk to your mom right now, don't pray to Shango. What's Shango going to tell you to do?
Go talk to your mom.
Talk to your mom. Okay? If you are in a fight with your mother and you're convinced you're right and she's wrong, don't go feed Obatala, because if you're not straight with your mother, it won't work out as well as you think. And that's why so many Ebos don't actually work for people, because people are fighting with their Isheshe, the forces around them. If anything that Ifa calls Isheshe, if you're struggling with it, don't bother to go to the Orishas. Because they're going to tell you, because it is Isheshe we ought to appease before we appease any Orisha. Shango when Shango lived on earth, he had a mother. So he's going to tell you, go back to your mom, because if the Orishas help you against your mother, that puts the Orishas in trouble. Right? You can't go around mom. You can't. We know moms are not always correct. Okay? But Ifa's emphasis was never on what mom did. Ifa's emphasis is on what? What you do. And always remember that. The whole thing about identifying the wrongdoers, that's fine. But the real emphasis is what are you doing? As long as you're behaving within the confines of what Ifa said, you're okay. So Ifa does say that one's mother is one's Isheshe. So let's always remember that. That is our source, the spring from which we also come. But more than that, or not more than that, preceding that, motherhood is a divinely created role. I know I'm a man, and I know when a man stands up here and says motherhood is divine, you're like, well, what does he know about motherhood? I really don't know that much. I just know I have one. I've never gone through all the things you all have gone through who've had children. I've never carried a child in my womb. I've never breastfed. I've never had to hold a child as a mother, as a father, yes. So I can only give you what Ifa teaches me and what I observed from my own mother. But what Ifa had said here was that motherhood is created by Olodumare. So when a woman is engaging in motherhood, and we're going to talk about what motherhood is. When a woman's engaging in motherhood, she's in direct contact with God. Direct. And that's a lot of power. That's why you see people doing superhuman feats in the name of their children. That's why women are literally busting through walls, picking up cars, working 3 jobs, not sleeping for 20, 30 years it's because motherhood has superhuman aspects to it. It's given from Olodumare. This is described in Oyekun Logbe. That's Oyekun on the right, Ogbe on the left. This describes how the first human was created and how she was created to be a mother. Okay, please repeat after me. Oyekun Logbe.
Oyekun Logbe.
An old rag is easily torn.
An old rag is easily torn.
A newly sprouted banana leaf.
A newly sprouted banana leaf
does not tear so easily anyway.
Does not tear so easily anyway.
This was Ifa's message.
This was Ifa's message
for Olodumare Agutun.
for Olodumare Agotu,
when he was going to send Nini Benini to the earth,
when he was going to send Nini Benini to the earth,
he was advised to offer Ebo,
he was advised to offer a bow,
and he complied.
and he complied.
All right. Now, you know, there was a certain moment, and when we say Olodumare Agotu, we mean Olodumare or God the Creator. We say he because of how English language works. You know, really in Yoruba, you wouldn't know if it's he or she, because Yoruba has no he and she. You all, we talk about my pronouns, what are your pronouns? Yoruba really does not have male and female pronouns. You know by the context what the sex of the person is. But anyway, Olodumare was created before there was females and males in that sense. So we say he because of English, but it's really, Olodumare is really more it. It was advised to offer both. It complied. Olodumare, God is not a man, y'all. Is not a man. Okay. So Olodumare was at the point of looking at the planet Earth and Oyakunobe. And Olodumare wanted to inhabit the Earth. The Earth had been filled at other times by other spirits. Some of them had not handled it very well. They weren't humans though. And they had mismanaged. And because of their mismanagement, Olodumare had elected to flood the earth out and start it over again. Those are the great floods that Ifa talks about, and actually all the ancient spiritual traditions talk about the big floods. It's for that reason the earth was previously inhabited by other beings. They destroyed it through their use of technology, and they were flooded out, and you know, the flood is a chance to restart. Actually, a few of them happened. Well, after significant flooding, Olodumare said, we still want to inhabit this earth. Olodumare had sent Ogun to the earth to please try to open a path. And Ogun had made it habitable in some ways. Olodumare had sent Obatala the path to make it habitable. Olodumare had done other things. Olodumare also sent Orunmila down to the earth. So the earth was now with waterways, with paths, with land, with all of those things, with things growing, but there were still no beings on it. There were still no beings on it. Olodumare wanted to populate it. So Olodumare decided that we have to create some vehicle to sprout life. Remember, all the Orishas, the Orunmila, they already existed. But how would we now populate this place? This was like a major engineering challenge. This was like, you know, when engineers look at, they've got a mountain here, they've got another mountain there, and they know they need to build a bridge, but no bridge had ever been built that long, that light, that thin, but that strong. He said, major engineering. Olodumare says, how are we going to populate the earth? What's the style going to be? Well, now we said, we just create people. Yeah, but you know, remember, let's rewind. People didn't exist yet. Humans had not come into existence. So we're at this point of Oyakunobe when humans are coming into existence. Olodumare had asked so many deities to help prepare the earth. He went to one called, or it went to one, sorry, that's my bad habit. I just can't stop it, I don't know why. But Olodumare went to create the habitation of the earth, and Olodumare asked Oduduwa. Oduduwa is one of the old Irumale. Now by Irumale, we're talking the old spirits who have existed across the universe. They're very, very ancient. You know, when you think of Irumale, you all don't think of your beads and the colors they may have, the numbers, the foods. This goes beyond any of that, but it also touches on that. That's how we know these Irumale. Irumale are these very, very, very old deities, such as Obatala, Shango. They're very old. Anyway, Odudu was the one in charge of now this phase populating the earth. Olodumare said, I know I want Odudu to have something with this phase. We've given Obatala, we've given Ogun, we've given Orunmila. They've all had their part. Now let's let another one come in and do the work. And Oduduwa is now called the progenitor of the human race. So I'm going to show you why. Oduduwa, Odudu himself would not be able to create anything because Oduduwa is an Irumale. They don't create in that way. Olodumare thought, and it says we need to create someone with whom Oduduwa can create. Okay, because it did talk about the energy of the masculine, the feminine, the divine masculine, feminine. Oduduwa says, well, I can't do it alone. Olodumare got the idea to create a new being. And he called this being Nini Benini. Nini Benini. Nini Benini means any, one created in the likeness of Enia. And okay, so one created in Enia is Oduduwa. So Olodumare decided to create some type of being who was similar to Oduduwa, who could help populate the earth. Olodumare thought and thought and thought and thought and thought and thought. And Olodumare created this being, Nini Benini. It's now what we call a woman. So Ifa says the first human to ever walk on the earth was in fact a woman. It's funny because so much science, we've been talking about Lucy and all the primordial. Yes, Ifa says the first human being was in fact a woman. It was a woman. Olodumare created this being. Olodumare created her at the maturity level that we now recognize to be about 14 or 15 years old. Olodumare sent her to earth with Oduduwa. And their job on earth, so when a girl's 14, 15 years old, she can now have children. Olodumare decided we're going to try a new way of populating the earth. It's called reproduction. Okay, I'm not just going to create little clones and drop them down there, because Olodumare doesn't do that. Otherwise, Olodumare would have just put people, said, like magic, like a rabbit in a hat. There's humans, it's full. No, there was a process for it. Olodumare sent Nini Benini through some natural processes, including something we call the river of Dai and the river of blood. These are two spiritual rivers that Nini Benini passed through. Nini Benini came to live on earth with Oduduwa. And they had children. In fact, they had 16 children. They had twins 8 times. Okay? So through this, you can see that the definition of what it means to be a woman and the definition of what it means to be a mother is the same thing. It's the same thing. That's what distinguishes primarily women from men. I know everything I'm saying now is not 100% popular in America in 2025. I know that, y'all. But I'm just telling you what Ifa says, and y'all can take it or leave it as you wish. Ifa says that to be a woman and to be a mother it's the same thing. Because the woman's body is created to do that. And this story told you why. Now, the interesting thing in the story is they had 16 children. Oduduwa is an Irumale. Nini Benini is what we call a human. So that tells us that all human beings are what? What's the parentage or the lineage of all humans?
Half Irumale.
Half Irumale and half
Human.
Yeah, so that's telling you we have divinity inside of us. Okay, we all do. Because that's why they in fact call Oduduwa the progenitor of the human race. And they need to call Nini Benini also, maybe this is just sexist use of language, Nini Benini is also the progenitor of the human race. This first woman created all humans. Now, as the children were growing up, and they were 6, 7, 8, they were, learning how to live in families and households. The Irumale were also amazing teachers. They taught about home life, culture. Oshun was there, Ogun. They were establishing human culture. Okay, these are like prehistoric people. We don't normally think of that, but these are prehistoric people. They're developing human culture. At 12, 13, 14, guess what happened to the siblings? They started to get attracted to one another.
Oh no.
Right? And that wasn't part of the plan. Can you imagine if you have twins in your family, you have 2 kids, a boy and a girl, and they're growing up at 13, 14, they become interested in each other? Can't have that. You see, incest is a taboo in heaven as it is on earth. And the important reason why it's a taboo is, why is incest a taboo, y'all? Why? What's one practical reason why? Deformities. If there's any problems in the family, it just reinforces those. That's why Ifa encourages you to marry outside of your lineage, to diffuse those and to begin to widen the genetic basis. What's another reason that we don't want to have any type of incest?
They're the same blood. They're related.
Same blood, they're same related. It's going to lead to competition. Because now you've got jealous brothers and sisters fighting over each other about who gets her and who gets him. It's a mess, you all. So we want to refer it out. You want to subcontract it out. So at that point, and this is where I'll stop the Oyakun a little bit, Oduduwa says, and well, if we keep having more children, guess what? We're just creating more siblings to squabble and fight. So at that point, Oludumare decided to assign other deities to create more people, but not through reproduction, through production, as in factory. And that Ifa explains in Obefun how other humans were created using divine Orishanla. You were the one who molds human beings. The one who molds them cannot feel depression. That's what that's talking about. So those type of people were then able, as humans were then created, they were able to mate with Oduduwa's children, and everything came out fine. So we just see now that being a woman on earth, it led to the creation of people. Motherhood and womanhood, it's much the same. A lot of women say, well, does that mean if I don't have children, I'm not truly a woman? No, it's not saying that. But it's saying that the woman's body is designed to do that. Okay, everything in nature has purposes. Okay. Every time a woman engages in any aspect of child rearing, a woman is also accessing that same divine force. You're tapping into the same Nini Benini. It's a very strong force. That's why they talk about a woman's sixth sense, a woman's special powers, her superpowers. It comes from that source. That divine nature has to be balanced with kind of like a social nature, though, a social aspect, a educational aspect. You know what? Mothers and women are the teachers of the society. Everybody's first teacher is usually their mom. That's everybody. And I think Baba had pointed out someone here today. Well, most preschool teachers, are they men or women, y'all?
Women.
Most babysitters, are they men or women?
Women.
Yes, we know that. It's just we don't, and that's every country across the world. I'm not saying men can't do the job, right? But for some reason, women are the ones who do it. It's because there's a certain natural affinity. Okay. So the job to educate, raise, culture children, to make them productive, to make them interesting, to make them be able to live long, comes at the hands of women. That's what they said a mother is the architect of a child's success. This is from Esekanola, Irete Otura. Please repeat after me. Esekanola.
Esekanola.
Irete Otura.
Irete Otura.
Ire in front.
Ire in front.
Happiness behind.
Happiness behind.
This is Ifa's message.
This is Ifa's message.
For the mother.
For the mother.
Olokoshe.
Olokoshe.
And the mother of Okin.
And the mother of Okin.
They were wives of the king.
They were wives of the king.
They cast Ifa for the success of their children.
They cast Ifa for the success of their children.
They were advised to offer Ebo.
And they were advised to offer Ebo.
Only the mother of Okin complied.
Only the mother of Okin complied.
Thank you. So what Ifa is describing a situation. Okay, let's rewind a little bit. You know, kings in West Africa can have different wives and many wives. It's called polygamy. We don't have it here in this country. But that's the situation there. So this is the story of the king and his senior wife. She had a son. And then the king had a younger wife. And she had sons. So the ages of the moms and the kids were different. Well, you all know this. Who's in line to be the next king if the king dies? Who usually gets it? The firstborn, the oldest son. So Olokoshe, he was the boy who was, if anything happened to dad, he would inherit that crown. It was just the way their tradition went. So the mother raised him along those lines. She knew that eventually one day, God forbid the king passed away, her son's going to be the king. She said, if my son's going to be the king, then I'm going to be the queen mother, right? I'm going to be the mother of the actual queen. That's a king. That's a pretty good position. So she raised him that way. Then there was a younger wife who had a son. He was way down on the pecking list. You know, like Prince Harry, or imagine Prince Tommy, Mike, and Sammy. He was like way down. It was never gonna. He'd have to pass. So many people would have to die for him to be king. He was just not even hoping on that. It just couldn't happen. Mathematically, it wouldn't happen. So the mother of this younger boy, his name was Okin. She said, my son's never going to, he's of royal blood, he's never going to be the king. So let us just raise him like a normal child. He needs to work hard. He's going to have to survive. One day, the two mothers went to cast Ifa. They went to know about the success. They went together. They went to cast about the success chances of their children. And when they did that, the Babalawo said, your children will be successful, but you both need to offer Ebo. Well, the mother of the older boy says, well, my son's going to be the king either way. That's been our tradition. So she chose not to. The mother of the younger boy offered their bow. Now, the way they had been raising these children was very different also. If you know, let me ask you all a question. If you know that you're going to win the lottery and you will have $5 million in your bank next year, are you going to start a new career this year? Are you going to go to college this year? No, most likely not. This mother, Olokoshe's mom, she said, my son's going to be the king, so why am I going to teach him to work hard? He's going to be the king. You know, the dad's old. Dad's not going to live forever. So she let him be lazy. She let him always stay in bed. In fact, he slept every day until at least noon. He never got up before noon any day. Like the sun was already up overhead right when he got up. He didn't know how to work with his hands. He became tired easily. He didn't know how to clean. He had servants and attendants around him because he was the crown prince. Okay? At the same time, Okeen's mother, she raised her boy to work hard because he was about 30th in line to be the king. So it was not going to happen. Right? He was the one who was taught to wake up every morning before the roosters even crowed. He would be out in the stables cleaning. He would be with the workers. In fact, they would forget that he was one of the king's children. He spoke the languages of the servants because some of the people who were the servants were from different ethnic tribes or different subgroups, so they spoke different. He learned their dialects, right? So this kid was being out there. He would learn how to do all the chores on the whole royal grounds. In fact, people, like I said, they forgot he was even of royal blood. Every day he was up cleaning, working. They lived this way for many, many years. Well, one day, the inevitable happened. The Oba, the king, passed away. And when the king passed away, everybody knew the traditions in the town. It was going to be the tradition that Olokoshe would just simply be appointed. Well, there was one little problem, though. The kingmakers told Olokoshe and the mother, we need you in the grove, out in the middle of the forest, before sunrise in 7 days. And the mom right there just froze. She's like, oop, he's never gotten up before noon for the last 22 years. How's he going to get up at sunrise? It's not going to work. So she says, we'll just have to practice because that's a very important day. You have to be there to get your crown. There's going to be a ceremony. Olokoshe's mother began trying to wake him up every day. Get up, get up, get up, get up. He could not biologically respond. He could not get up. Boy did not know how to get up before noon. You know, the earliest he probably got up was 9:30, 10, maybe, and then he went back to sleep. By about the 4th day, the mother said, this is not going to work. We're going to mess around and miss this appointment. Okay? And you have to be there. So the mother had a brilliant idea. She had a brilliant idea. She said, Olokoshe, your younger son, he's like your servant. You know, in your younger brother. The way it works is in Yoruba society is the older siblings tell the younger siblings what to do. And it always works fine. So the idea is, Olokoshe, tell Okeen, your younger, he's a hard worker, he gets up early, have him go and get the crown. And Olokoshe, the older boy, thought about it. Okay, so he asked Okeen to please go do that. Okeen immediately went home, discussed it with his mother. His mother says, you need to check that with your father. That doesn't sound right. That doesn't sound like that's going to work. You're going to get in trouble because you're not supposed to even be there. This is Olokoshe's crown. This is the older son's crown. He went and cast Ifa. Please repeat. It is very sad.
It is very sad.
It is regrettable indeed.
It is regrettable indeed.
This was cast Ifa for Okeen.
This was cast Ifa for Okeen.
When his brother Olokoshe sent him on an important mission. He was advised to offer a bowl. He complied.
Okay.
So Okeen, the younger brother, got up early the next day and he went to cast Ifa. And the Babalaw's name, it is sad, it's regrettable. They told him, you're here for something important, aren't you? He said, yes, I am. The Awo said, go do what you're planning to do. You'll be successful, but please offer your ebo in it so that it comes into your hand. He offered the ebo. On the morning of the 7th day, he got up at 4 a.m. in the morning and he got himself set up. He went to the grove. As Okeen, the young boy, went there, he could hear the chiefs were already setting up the conclave, right, the setup. And he came in and they said, my boy, why are you here? You're so far down in the line of inheritance. You're in the wrong place. Okeen says, well, my older brother sent me here. He said, come here, collect the crown. Just like for years I've been getting water, palm oil, wood. I've been carrying things from my older brother. He told me to collect these items and bring them back. And the chiefs said, we've never heard of anything like that before. So they had to pause the conclave, right? They had to pause it and sit and talk. They sent the boy outside. They said, well, the way our tradition works is whoever shows up here in this meeting is the one who will receive the crown. So after much deliberation, they decided to give the crown to the younger boy who was very far down on the list of inheritance. He was really far down. They deliberated, they thought about it, they gave the crown to him. They spent a few hours teaching him the things that he would need to know to be the new Oba, the new king. By about 11 a.m., he was going back into town. And at this time, here's Olokoshe. And he's like, ooh, okay. The sun was not quite overhead yet. He's still about 1 more hour of sleep. But he hears all this drumming. Here's this drumming. He goes, okay, they're bringing my crown. I want my crown to come while I'm asleep. They're going to wake me up and give me my crown.
In bed.
Yeah. So Ifa doesn't say this, but I wonder if he didn't go back to sleep and have a dream about his crown. And he's just sleeping, the noise, he can hear it all, he can smell the food. And then he hears the people outside and they're singing a song. Please repeat. It is regrettable.
It is regrettable.
It is painful.
It is painful.
The mother of Okeen, sent her son to do something important. Now truly, one's mother is the architect of one's success. He's just hearing that. He's just dreaming. He can hear, when you kind of hear noise and then you turn the words into something else. And in real life, everybody can see they're celebrating. Okeen is now coming and he's being carried by people. He's got the crown. And Olokoshe wakes up and goes, oh, look at that. He's even carrying my crown on his head to give to me. That is cool. That's really interesting. But then he hears the next part of the story. Please repeat. It is painful. It's regrettable. Olokoshe was advised to offer a bow. He refused to comply. Now, one's mother is the architect of a child's failure. Olokoshe refused to offer their bow. He became wretched. One's mother is the architect of a child's failure. He heard this, he said, what? And as the crown was coming close to him, everybody, the celebrants, they passed by Olokoshe's house and they went to the palace. Olokoshe was so upset. He did what any good responsible son would do. He blamed his mom. You know how people always blame mom and stuff?
Always.
And we know that's wrong. But it also has a seed of truth in it. Who was the one who raised the boy to be lazy?
Mom.
Yes. And who was the one who raised Okeen to be hardworking and early rising?
The mom.
Yeah. So that's why Ifa says a mother is the architect of your success or your failure. Okay, so what this story, we're not trying by this story on Mother's Day to victimize moms. Like, y'all, you work so hard, and you also are the child's key to failure. No, but what I love about Ifaz, it's brutally honest. It's brutally honest. So we all have handicaps from our mother. We all have setbacks from our mom. Our mom did not give us everything perfect. All of us essentially have some of Olokoshe's mom in us and some of Okim's mom in us. We just need to recognize which is which. Okay, and as Ifa conscious people, we can now begin to make adjustments. Okay. We don't want to be caught like Olokoshe, in bed, sleeping, when life comes to us and we're not ready for it. So, this highlights the immense power women have to shape the lives of youth. Now I know, you say, if it's immense power, how come they don't pay us to have immense power? It's because society doesn't recognize it that way. But we know it's immense power. We know that a woman is in charge of a child's development, his sense or her sense of intimacy. You know that when a woman carries a baby, scientists have figured out that the baby's eyesight when they're newborn is about the distance from the breast to the mother's face. They can't see much further. It's evolved that way. They need to know who their mom is, right? And that's the first person they see. So that's, you talk about sacred geometry, right? The distance between the breast and the mom's face. That's the child's ability to physically see. So the mother is doing everything to shape the child's reactions, to shape the child's culture. It's a huge, huge responsibility. So what I want to say to all mothers, and now we're going to talk about the definition of mother. We call a lot of ladies in this temple Iya. In fact, every woman who's over 22, 24, we're calling her Iya. We won't call a girl Iya. It's like we don't call a little boy Baba. Iya means mother. So if we call all women mother, how do we expect all women to be? Motherly, yes. Now, what are the motherly traits? We've talked about caring, compassionate. We didn't say you have to have had a baby to be a mother. That is an essential part of biological motherhood. But what about adoptive motherhood? What about foster motherhood? What about spiritual motherhood? What about motherhood through marriage? What about all those other ways? How about motherhood of children in the neighborhood, children in the groups you belong to? The motherhood that a teacher shows to her kids. You see, these are all aspects of mother. Ifa never said biological motherhood was the only way. It's very important, and we know that's the foundation, y'all. I mean, we're not going to pretend like, and our society is actually slightly shifting because as more and more women choose not to have kids, we're redefining motherhood. Ifa says, no, don't get it wrong. The basis of motherhood is biology. Oyekun Lobe showed us that. Nini Benini was the first woman, and she was a mom. But beyond that, it's expanded now over this millennia to include all the ways women take care of children, because women are the ones who make children great. Did you know that the only problem is our society doesn't give it much reward? We have a day called Mother's Day. But what if we treated mothers like Mother's Day every day? This is from Ogbelara. Please repeat after me. Ogbelara. A proficient Ifa priest.
A proficient Ifa priest.
Is he who imprints upon the Okon Ifa in the morning.
Is he who imprints upon the Okon Ifa in the morning.
The proficient medicine man.
The proficient medicine
Is the
man.
one who touches the chest of his shigidi.
Is the one who touches the chest of his shigidi.
His herbal icon.
His herbal icon.
Before consultation.
Before consultation.
A proficient Orisha priest.
A proficient Orisha priest.
Rings the Ajian gong.
Rings the Ajian
This
gong.
way and that way.
This way and that way.
This was Castifa for Oromila.
This was Castifa for
When he
Arumila.
wished to know the secret of the world.
When he wished to know the secrets of the
He
world,
was advised to offer a bow.
he was advised to offer a
He
bow,
complied.
and he complied.
Thank you. Oromila wanted to know in Obi Oturo, you all, what is the secret of the world? Why is it that some people are successful and some people are just failures, despite, having same household, same education? Why do some die young and some die older? Why do some people have so socially bubbly and connected and friendly, and others just retreat into their shell? He wanted to know all these secrets, that some people are great, and then some other people are downtrodden. Some people are brilliant, some people are not. He says, I want to know the secret of the world. Why is it like this? Why is it so random appearing? He went and he cast Ifa. He cast Ifa and Ogbe Otura came out. And a woman says, you will learn the secret of the world, Oromila. You need to offer an ebo and do what's called Ikweshe. Ikweshe means to feed the mothers of the night. So he offered this nice big offering to the mothers of the night, and he took it and Ifa instructed him to put it at the center of the crossroads. And they told him to sit and wait. And in the old days, when you offered a bowl, you'd leave it there, you'd go back in the bushes and hide and see what was going to happen. So Oromila did that. When Oromila was waiting, it got to be night. He started to doze off. He left it there. At about 3 in the morning, he was woken up. He heard noise. He looked right where the Ikweshe was offered. There was a naked woman. She was about 8 feet tall. Just, you know. She looked like she did a lot of Pilates. Okay? Yeah, 8 foot tall and just muscle. Just muscle. From one end to the other. And she was nude. And what is this? 8 feet tall? Big. She went down to the offering and she began to eat the intestines of the animals out of the calabash. And Oromila was surprised. And then she went and she looked at Oromila, who was hiding. And she says, do you know who I am? And Oromila was silent. She says, I am Iyami. I'm your mother. I'm your mother. I'm everyone's mother. She said, never allow a woman to be disrespected. She says, you offered a boat to know the secret of the world. She says, women are the secret of the world. There is no man or no woman who can succeed without a woman. In fact, there's no man or there's no woman who can come into the world without the help of a woman. So Oromila, when he heard that teaching, he said, Ashe, and he got out of there. He ran. Because that's all he needed to see. So that's telling us right there. Ifa people, Isheshe people, we know that women are the foundation of everything. That's why we try to treat them with so much respect. Any place that we see a woman being mistreated, we have to speak up. Okay, we have to address it. So women have this immense power. The problem is our society does not recognize it. It doesn't recognize it. And most poverty resides with who? Men or women?
Women.
Most abuse resides where?
Women.
Women get the abuse. Most homelessness, it ends up hitting women harder, right? Women in most ways are suffering. That's the world. That's not the way of the deities though. And so we as Ifa people need to begin to correct that. So how do we correct that? What are some of the steps we can take to correct that? Okay, let's go to the practical part of the sermon. So practically, first of all, and women, ladies, don't be offended by this. Please, this is coming from men. Carry yourselves with utmost respect. Because we're already spiritually predisposed to respect you all. We are predisposed to do that. And if we're not, we learn through Ifa. So please, if you carry yourself with a modicum of respect, an average amount, you're within the Ifa community, that puts you up higher. Okay? I'm not saying women don't have the chance, they don't have an opportunity to have disrespect, but you can if you want. But Ifa says if you carry yourself with respect, you are now accessing what Oyeko Nove talked about. You are accessing what all these stanzas talk about, the power of womanhood. So that's the first thing. Men, on your side, give women the benefit of the doubt. Never fight with a woman. Ifa says no man should ever, there's no stanza where Ifa permits a man to fight with a woman, even if she is completely wrong, which, sometimes they are. Most of the time, mostly, hey, let's be honest, most of the time the guy's wrong, right? Most of the time the man has done like a little too much, gone too far. But even if the woman is wrong, there's no reason to fight with anyone. And to bring it to this day, never fight with your what?
Mother.
You can't win that fight.
At all.
There's no way you can win that. No matter how right or wrong you are, or how right or wrong she is, you cannot win that battle. If you fight with your mother, all you can do is go away and be quiet and feel bad somewhere. Let's say you're 100% right and she's completely wrong. You still don't feel good. Because where does the Ashe reside? The Ashe resides with the mother.
Oh my goodness.
So we just need to factor that in. I'm not saying some moms aren't difficult. I'm not saying there might even be some crazy moms out there, right?
Definitely.
There might be some, but it doesn't matter. That's not part of what Oyeko and Lobi talked about. Motherhood is divinely created, and so our emphasis is on us, on what we do. Now, don't worry about how good or bad or right or wrong mom is. Worry about your level of respect to your mother. That's what Ifa talks about. So that's what Ifa says. But Ifa also says in here, you all, that we need to learn how to repair these relationships with our mothers. And as we get into our 20s, 30s, 40s, things, I'm glad the young lady pointed it out today, that we need to begin to recognize the greatness of our moms, no matter what they did. I mean, the fact that they simply had us, you deserve a prize for that. Even if you have a kid and then abandon the kid, you've still done an amazing feat. Somebody else has to raise the child. The child may have other mothers, but even the biological motherhood alone is an amazing feat. To carry something inside your womb for 9 months, okay, that's worth that credit and that respect. So let us always remember that the mother's entitled to respect. So we need to begin to repair these relationships. Oh, you don't know, but you don't know my mom. My mom is not like you. My mom's not like the moms in those Ifa stanzas. No, you know what? No mother's like you. Every mother's, they all have their challenges because mothers are humans, and human beings are difficult. We all know that. But nevertheless, the emphasis is on what we do. So we all need to make sure we contact our mothers. We need to be calling our mothers. How many people here of your mothers who are alive call your mom once a week? Okay. Yeah. Every day, try to do it once a week. Even if she's not socialized to like it, call her. Quit bothering me again. All right, Mom, I love you too. It's okay. Yeah. We know, because they're falling back into old patterns, right? They're falling into, but that doesn't matter. You're not in the old pattern. You're now in this Ifa pattern. Mom just want to say, hey, I'm just checking up on you. They really do like it. They may not know how to say it, but they do like it. Okay, so that's the first thing, is check up on your mothers. Make sure they're comfortable. Ifa says, do not allow your mother to be in discomfort when you're in comfort. Yeah, whatever, if you have something mom needs, give it to her. Okay? But the other thing also is, what if our mother had now passed away? And here's the hard part, what if our mother had passed away and things were not good with mother? What if with mom it's just, the memories are too much, the melancholy is too much, the regrets are too much, and now she's gone. Ifa says it's not too late, because no matter how your relationship was with your mother when she's on earth, that ain't who she is now. Your mother's now spirit. And now you're more spiritual, so you're now approaching your mother's spirit. It's spirit to spirit. It's not little boy, little girl to mom in the kitchen screaming at me. It's a different relationship now. And have we now been able to progress, or are we still living in our teenage years? You see, we need to begin to think about these things, to let go of some of this regret and frustration. So what Ifa says practically, if your mother has passed away, you should still be seeking her good favor. You should be. She's not just dead and gone somewhere. You should be naming her in your prayers and asking for her blessings. In fact, any Ifa stanza that says, give your mother a gift, well, here, Mom, happy Mother's Day. If she's quote-unquote dead, guess what you're going to do? You're going to take that same gift and put it on her grave. Ifa is literally very practical. You will take that thing, you give the coconut to her grave. You will give the money, you will put it there because she's still going to receive it. The intention is exactly the same. So the relationship with your mother does not end when your mother, quote-unquote, passes away. It doesn't. The love, the respect, and the need for assistance and child rearing from your mom does not end. It does not end, you all. Don't think that because we're now big, some of us, that we don't need our mom anymore. We still need our mom. And this was described in the Odu Ogbe Hunle. That means Ogbe on the right, Owari on the left. Please repeat after me. Ogbe Hunle.
Ogbe Hunle.
Let the antelope prepare itself.
Let the antelope prepare itself.
For financial success.
For financial success.
Let the Ori bird prepare itself.
Let the Ori bird prepare itself.
To play the Agbe drum.
To play the Agbe drum.
He who plans to dance with the music.
He who plans to dance with the music.
Let him have strong legs to maneuver.
Let him have strong legs to maneuver.
This is Ifa's message.
This is Ifa's message.
For the porcupine.
For the porcupine.
The offspring of Elekure,
The offspring of Elekure,
he was advised to offer a bow
he was advised to offer a
of
vote
achievement,
of achievement,
and he complied.
and he complied.
Okay, so this is the story of Erisege, or we translate in English, the porcupine. Porcupine was a very nice, hard-working person, followed all the rules, did everything right, and yet, like some people, had zero to show for it. You know, that's the funny thing. People say, well, I'm an Ifa. How come people who know nothing about Ifa, if this is such a religion of powers, how come people who know nothing about it are just doing so much better? They're doing great. Okay? So that was his. He's like, why am I working so hard and other people around me are doing better than me? People who don't even worship the Orisha. He tried to work, the jobs didn't work out. He tried to build relationships, didn't work out. He tried to go around and have a child and raise a child. He couldn't even find a person to have a child with. He tried to have a home, the home didn't work. Everything was blocked in every way. He began to be desperate and angry and frustrated. He went and he casted Ifa. And the Odu Ogbe only came out. Ogbe on the right, Owamring on the left. And what did it say? Ifa says, just be patient, you will be successful. But what's missing from this equation is the advice and consent of your mother. You need to ask for the blessings of your mother. And he thought, mistakenly, my life is about me working hard. He hadn't factored in his mother. Ifa says, no, offer your bow, yes, but more important than that, it said, if you go and you get the blessing from your mother, that's worth an bow of 20 cows. Big bow. So the porcupine went back, offered the bow, and then went to his mother. And he said, Mom, he says, I am in need. And I'm sorry I didn't come to you before this point. You see, most mothers, unless they're mentally unwell, most mothers want their children to succeed. 99.5%. There's a little ones who might want to, but most truly in their heart, and even if their Ori does not allow it, their heart allows it. They want their children to succeed. He said, Mom, he said, please pray for me. Okay. And so the message of this is we need to talk to our mothers, either living or spiritually. So I need you to pray for me. I need help. Right? We can do it through feeding our Igunguniya, our maternal ancestor. We can do it if they're passed away. We can do it in so many ways. If they're alive, we can just call them today and say, I just want to really thank you. I know things weren't perfect, but you're great. Thank you. And I need you to pray for me. I need help. Most mothers are going to be like, that's what I've been waiting for. See, because we get older, we start to tell them what to do. Tell them, don't get up from there. No, I'll bring it. You just sit there. And we begin to boss our parents around. No, treat them like the emissary of Olodumare that they really are. So Porcupine went and he did that. And his affairs began to turn around. Things began to harmonize. So Ifa says, please make sure, you treat your mother like that. You seek her consent and advice. You may not have to follow her, but factor in what she wants, and also ask for her divine support. Remember, one's mother is one's Isheshe. Shango will be telling you, don't come to me with that rooster. Don't bring that over to me. Don't bring me the kola nuts and that palm oil until you solve it with your mother. So we all have to be on good terms with our mothers. Okay. And Ifa specifies, it doesn't really say the same thing quite for the father. That's a different teaching. Maybe we'll come to that next month, right in June. I'm going to be very specific to mothers. So in conclusion, you all, please remember that one's mother is one's Isheshe. Solve it with whatever's floating with mom, solve it. If she's not perfect, that's okay. We can let it go. And so that our conscience is clean, our hands are sparkling clean with our mothers. Okay? Number 2, motherhood is divinely inspired. Every woman here is a mother. That's why anybody here, we're going to call you Iya as you get that age up in your 20s. You are mothers. We expect you to act like mothers. Okay? And don't get mad. I'm going to say the same thing to fathers next month for Father's Day. Okay? What is motherly behavior? Taking care of the well-being of children. Being able to correct children in the temple community, not on the street, you all, but in the temple community. Being able to correct children, being able to care for the well-being of children. Every woman here is something like the mother of the kids in this group. In the old days, did you ever hear they said it takes a village to raise a child? Okay, now, if you all go down to the mall and start trying to correct other people's children, what's going to happen to you? Yeah, you're going to be a TikTok casualty, won't you? Yeah, TMZ, you'll be a TikTok times TMZ times the mall cop, right? So we know that approach doesn't work outside in the real world. But let me ask you guys, do you think the world would work better if responsible women could correct children on the outside? That's what we're trying to develop right here. We started here. So all women, we call it Iya. We say, that means mother. So mothers are looking out for the well-being of children. That's why a kid ultimately has a whole bunch of mothers in a spiritual community. All churches and temples and synagogues do it this way, and so do we. They all do it. That's why religious people all over the country are generally doing better than people who don't engage in religion. Did you know the birth rate is dropping? Have you all heard about the fertility crisis?
Yes. No.
It's rough. Yeah. United States is not at what they call replacement, meaning that people are not having enough kids. They're not having enough kids. I mean, the population's just, yes?
As a TK teacher, I can 100% say, please have children.
Yes.
I'll be out of a job.
Yes. This woman, she's have kids. We talked to midwives. I spoke to a midwife 2 weeks ago. She says hospital maternity wards are about half empty right now. Midwives are complaining. Everybody, they're going out of business. People are not having children the way they used to. Okay, and that's an overall trend in many countries, and we'll go into another sermon why that is. But here's the thing I want to emphasize. Guess which groups are having the most kids? Guess what the highest ranking having children in the United States?
Hispanics.
No, not even racial.
Yeah,
it is. They're the highest group are the Mennonites.
Mennonites.
Mennonites are all of the Quaker, the Amish, those groups. These are spiritual communities, you all. They're reproducing because they know. Okay, now they have their own style, their own culture. And then another group are Orthodox Jews. I'm giving you facts, you all. Yeah. Why? Because they see the value of marriage and community and raising kids. But the further we get from spirituality, the less value we see in that. And so a lot of countries in the world have this issue right now. IFA says that it's very, very essential. That shows you the importance of motherhood to continue to allow the society to grow. I know some people feel there's too many people in the world, we need to give the world a break. No, there's too many people wasting, throwing plastic in the ocean. That's what there is. There's not too many people. Too many people wasting stuff. Okay, so let us acknowledge we need to have children, and the only way a woman who wants to be a mother can be a mother is around young people. That's either adoptive, that's either foster, whatever the style is. So all of you women, all you ladies, you are mothers. And we want to develop that. And all the fathers, next month we'll be talking about how you are fathers. You are baba. You are fathers above a certain age. So that's our sacred role. So we know mother is a sheshe. We know it's a divine role. We know number 3, though, the amount of control that a mother has. The mother is the architect. And so by extension, a lot of the women who don't have a biological kid, but see a kid, these kids remember when you talk to them about school. I mean, you're a teacher, yeah, you recognize that. They see it, it matters. And it makes a difference. These interventions matter, and we've got to move to have plenty of meaningful interventions. Okay, and then last thing is be on good terms with your mom. Go and resolve it today. Everybody who's lucky enough to have a mother who's still alive, go resolve it. If anything floating, just tell her you love her, send her flowers. It's very essential. For those who have passed away, nothing's stopping you from getting a cola nut and putting it on Mother Earth and feeding your Mother Spirit that way, saying your prayers or going to wherever you want. See, that way we will truly be blessed. Thank you all. Happy Mother's Day. Yeah, we have a lot to be happy on Mother's Day. It's a great day, you all. It's a great day. So, what we're going to do now is we'll move this podium. Please, we ask you all, please make if Easy Fa teaching means something, make a contribution. Do what you can do. If you want to do it online, you all know our PayPal. It's ebo.otora.tukar@gmail. Okay, and yes, Lauren Ma, if you can come down. We're going to give Osei today. And today's Osei is focusing on being on good terms with our mother, getting the blessing of our mother. Oh yeah, I think that pose melted there.
If you guys, wait, this is fine.
Thank you. Yeah, it's all the same. It's all. All right, and there's only 2 toes on here. And yeah, Riri, this is process. What we're looking for is just some good people. We need to associate with good people. So, hey, today, associate with your mother. However you can. All right. Let's pray Oshe Torah, please. Ifa and Ishu had answered well, I think, after some initial, call mom, call her.
Ifa said work on our anger.
Oh, and work on our anger. Okay, well, I'm sure nobody has anger issues with your mother, right? It's all right. Yeah. Or mom with you, too. All right. Oshe Torah.
Trying to get a piece of tubu.
Time to get a piece of tubu.
For me, it's not big enough to make a bed here.
Try to make it not big enough to use the bed here.
That's enough to use the bed here.
And that's enough to use the bed here.
I would have taken it home and thrown my head with it.
I would have taken it home and thrown my head with it.
This is a gorilla.
This is Father, gracious to a gorilla.
It's one of the spiritual to reject land.
We're going on a spiritual mission to reject land.
Home from the local police selling a pair of money.
Call from local police selling a pair of money.
A gorilla and expecting to reject land.
We call from gorilla to respect the reject land.
A gorilla is a good war. stop you or hurt it off.
Defy you or hurt it off.
Because I Chevrolet.
Because I Chevrolet.
The Mother Earth is equally listening.
The Mother Earth is equally listening.
The Awo has now reached the stage.
The Awo has now reached the stage.
The Mother Earth is equally listening.
The Mother Earth is equally listening.
And accepting the plea of the Awo.
So it says,
So it says,
every sorrow,
so shall it be.
Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo orun tí mo bá máa bá ní o, Olúmọlẹ̀ ó gbà, Ifá ó gbà o, Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi.
Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi o, Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi. Gbogbo orun tí mo bá máa bá ní o, Olúmọlẹ̀ ó gbà, Ifá ó gbà o, Ashe Orisha, lẹ́nu mi.
If the shade of the Orisha manifests in our mouth, if the shade of the Orisha manifests in our mouth, everything that we are saying, our prayers will be accepted by the Olumile. The Bible is also accepted. Let the shade of the Orisha manifest in our mouth. Oko erete asu, ipa ogbo olorun, àti ìbá ti ajú, ipa ogbo olorun, ó ṣe àrúwẹ̀lá ìfá ti gbó.
Oko erete asu, Ifá ògbó olórun, àti ìbá ti ajú. Ifá ògbó olórun, ó ṣe àrúwẹ̀lá ìfá ti gbó.
All the prayers that we offer you here in heaven, all the references that we give you here in heaven, Oshe Wela, Ifa, you have heard it all. Ifa, we have given you praise, we are thankful. We ask for forgiveness and we ask for things that we need to prayer and song. And eternally ask that you leave the hand of death, sickness, addiction, fright, loss, delusion, and negativity. And we ask that you will bless us. You will bless our homes. You will bless our relationships with our mothers. You will bless our relationships with our children and our significant others. I ask that you also bless our visions and seeds so that we can bend ourselves like you taught us today with our eyes. You bless our Oris to fix our mind to make sure that we really focus on these relationships with our mothers. I ask that you bless our tongues to open our lines of communication to our mothers. I ask that you bless our hands, Father, that we extend a hand out to our mothers and we hold them tightly. I ask that you bless our legs to continue to walk on our journey to our destiny and walk towards our mothers as we learn today.
Bati Willow Marie, Bati Willow Marie. Bati Willow Marie, Bati Willow Marie, yeah, we are Aroti Romo, Bati Willow Marie, 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 yeah, we are. May all we have prayed for this morning may come to pass. All right, see you on next week. Double online as well.
Yeah? On the tape, on the plate? Yeah.